So for step one, I want to cover the tools that are required to do the frame check to our standards. So you might see, I've mentioned before, I have my iPad, got my framing checklist on the iPad. I'm also wearing a pool bag, contains some of the crucial tools that I need for a frame check. First and foremost, a heavy, thick, permanent marker. We're gonna potentially make some marks on the walls that our framers are gonna need to follow to know what we need them to correct. Second is a can of orange spray paint. So we have a color coding procedure that we use to do our quality checks. Orange means something needs attention, kind of the bright, alert color. We have something either needing attention or needing correction in the framing of the house. So we paint it orange, and then we follow it with a note that indicates to our framers what needs to be done. Obviously, a tape measure is a critical component because we're gonna check some dimensions when we go through and do our frame check. We may also add a laser distance meter to the tape measure because when we have larger spaces in our homes, that laser distance meter is gonna allow us to take a very precise measurement, typically within a 1/16 of an inch, without having to stretch out our tape measure and potentially take multiple dimensions to get an overall dimension. So the laser distance measuring device allows us to take those dimensions and measurements more effectively and save a little bit of time. This is kind of in the family of tools that we need. We've got to have a set of plans. Now, we might access our plans on an electronic device like the iPad or the Surface Pro. Don't recommend that we access it on our smartphone because we need a larger screen to be able to see the details. However, on every one of our job sites, we have a full set of laminated plans, weatherproof, and these are always located in the permit box tube. So on the back of the permit box, we have a tube that has a full set of plans, floor plans, engineering plans, and elevations and roof plans. So everything we need to check framing on the house. Then one of the most important tools for a frame check is what's called a plate level. Typically, most consumers don't know what a plate level is. Hopefully, most builders know what a plate level is, and hopefully, the framing crew has a plate level and uses it. The plate level is one of the most versatile tools for checking framing that we have. It allows us not only to check for bowed studs in a wall, that we'll talk about a little later, but it also allows for us to check whether walls are plumb or maybe tilted out or tilted in. So the plate level, again, is one of the most important tools we have. And then what I typically recommend to our team is that we also have more than one person when we do a frame check. Two people is often extremely helpful because one person can hold the electronic device, look at the plans, read out dimensions, while the other marks up and checks the dimensions in the house. The process of the frame check is typically at least half a day. For more complex houses, it could be 3/4 to a full day event because we've got to check the house from the foundation all the way up through the roof. And we're going to go through the steps of the frame check in subsequent videos.